Hey everybody, I want to give an update on the seedlings that are growing inside this spring that we'll be putting outside here as soon as things get warmer. We have had a terrific seed spring season, I guess you could call it, in the sunroom here. So we have this beautiful sunroom where we grow a lot of things. And it's just been amazing. Got multiple trays, and this one we have some peppers going on and snapdragon babies, so growing both vegetables and flowers here, and these snaps are doing really great. I have so many of them that I probably need to separate again. They're just really fine and tiny, so it's not easy to do. Melons, for the first time, we're going to be growing some cantaloupe melons. Down here in this tray, which I need to water, it's a little dried out. Really proud of what's going on here. I've got delphinium that I tried out. Never have grown them from seed before. I understand it's not easy. I did okay. This row here is blue, and these ones did come up. So really happy with how they're looking. Oh, some fell over. Probably because they need to be watered. And then right here in this row, these are all white delphiniums that really have just done terrifically well. So I'm going to probably move them into some solo cups here shortly to give them more space, because there's only so much soil in this tray just to get things germed and started. So I probably need to pull them up and out. This here is scabosia. Right in the middle, and that is a perennial that I'm hoping to establish a lot of in our garden and grow from seed, so I don't have to pay for it and I can do volume. They're doing terrifically well. They're very, very rigorous, hardworking, really happy there. And then this one I don't know how to pronounce. Eryngium, blue glitter. I have no clue how to say that. I have some here. Others I have transplanted up to cells that have more depth, so they are getting happier, the ones that have moved. These look pretty good though. So got some nice starting seeds there. They are a really cool looking perennial that I want to put throughout the gardens with a really cool blue color. And then these are like a cafe latte, like a light brown taupey rudbeckia, which is like a ornamental sunflower kind of looking plant, sort of like a black-eyed Susan. That's a better way to describe them. So they come up, they're really straggly. I think some of them need to be moved to cells again. Yeah, and I see it. I think there's some mold here growing. There's some disease pressure a little bit here. So need to give them water, need to move some of them. But really, really happy with this tray because I didn't know what was going to happen. I really haven't grown any of them before from seed, and they look terrific. On this table, we've got a lot going on. These are peppers, and originally had them in some shared cells, but they've done so well that we moved them to this 72 cell tray where they each get their own little section here, and that way they can keep growing but not get too unwieldy, and then I don't have to put more energy into putting them into solo cups like we do with the tomatoes there. So these can just hang out here until we get to planting time and get them out in the garden bed. But I just am so proud of how beautiful they look. They're so luscious, they're so rigorous, and they're such a uniform, beautiful plant. Peppers are super rewarding to grow. And then over here, I've got a whole bunch of snaps, so snapdragons that I have moved, and they're already looking really happy. They've got some height happening on them now. They're reaching for the sun. They're pointing that way. I'm very, very confident they're going to do well, and I need to fertilize, so that's something I'll do today. Peppers. We have some celebrity. We also have big boy and cherry going on. If you have never done this before, if you rub the stem and you smell it, oh, it's divine. It's divine. They smell so good, and they're doing so well. We've also got some peppers growing in here. This tray has got all sorts of things going on, but we wanted to give folks space. So Had some pepper seeds left, so we threw them in here. Plus, I've got some of my flowers from that other tray that I'm giving more room to see what they do and learn and experiment. And some of them are pretty darn happy. This rutabaga, that rutabaga are actually responding really well. Had one that went kaput. The thing I don't know how to pronounce, the blue glitter, they're looking pretty good. They've actually grown a little bit. I separated them into, or combined them like 2 to 3 per cell, and they look pretty good. Delphinium right here, this is looking terrific. It is grown. It has gotten bigger since I put them in here. They're all delphinium on the end. And then these are some scabosia. They've also gotten bigger. So everybody's really happy for the most part. Right here, I'm very, very excited that we've got 2 big, large trays of perennials that I want to have mass plantings of to put great accents and low profile borders in the garden. This is all dianthesis, and basically they're like a low profile carnation. They're supposed to have blue silvery leaves when they get more mature, and I think I got like red blooms on them. And then this is candy tuft, which is also another native perennial. And it has white blooms and low profile mounds, really spreads well. And so I'm very excited to put clumps of them and try them along the border edges of the gardens to give it more formality, repetition, rigor in the design, but also something that I know will come back, will be a workhorse. I don't have to replant annuals every year, which is so much work. So I'm really excited about these trays. They're doing exactly what I wanted them to do. I also wanted to mass plant a bunch of marigolds. So those are annuals, and I have harvested these seeds last year myself. They look terrific. They're always a workhorse. I've also got some down here. So for the ones I do want to spend energy on, I can put these in containers, pots, different accent areas around the garden. I just wanted to have a lot of mass because I tend to adore these. I love the bright orange color. They get huge. They withstand any condition. They also keep away pests like deer and rabbits. They're great to companion plant with vegetables as well to keep pests away. So they're just a really lovely thing to have in the garden, and I don't want to pay a whole bunch for them. So growing them on my own is the thing of pride and function too. Here we've got desert roses, portulaca. They are coming up pretty good. They're interesting because I tried another set down here in this little lianchen plate, and I do need to water this one, but they just aren't germing well even when they are watered. Yeah, I don't know what the difference is. I mean, this one has more depth on the soil, but for some reason it's doing better. And these are all of our awesome tomatoes. They are just moving and grooving and growing and happy. Down in the larger pot section, I've got a whole bunch of these giant white bloom zinnias, and they are doing terrific, exactly what I hoped for. I wanted them just to get a jump start before I could get them in the ground so that hopefully they can be blooming by early June. I would love to have some white blooms, and they're huge. I mean, the blooms are like as big as my hand. And they are such a terrific flower that can handle any growth conditions, really, really hot, dry, no problem. They don't care. So very, very happy with what they're doing here. Zinnias are the other things I've got going on. Oh, look at this. I'm so excited. We've got growth. This is new. Yay. That is new. Welcome, buddy. Now I really want to scrutinize the other ones. Looks like we got some growth here. Oh, terrific. Come on up, join the party. That is so exciting. I can't even tell you guys. So here's the deal. I made a mistake when I put these in pots it was over 3 weeks ago, because I wanted to get them really early started so I would get a jump start on blooms in the garden, because otherwise you have to wait a long time. You have to wait a couple months. If you put them in the ground mid-May up in zone 4B where we're at, you won't see blooms until August. And I can't wait. I'm impatient. I want blooms earlier. So that's why I do this. Well, I made the mistake of putting the tubers in without enough moisture in the soil. I just put them in more dry. I expect them to do something. You're not supposed to water them until they emerge like this one. And now I get to water that one and that one because they have emerged up. And nothing happened. And I was panicking. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I put all this energy into it and they're not doing anything. So I literally this last week went back and replanted them all. I dug them back up, wet down the soil, put them back in, and then just crossed my fingers. So I'm really, really happy to see this one, which is a orange dinner plate dahlia. So it's just a huge, the size of a dinner plate, orange bloom dahlia. This one's a red dinner plate. This one is also a red dinner plate. This is the only one that came up for me first go around. So I'm feeling much more happy and optimistic that this one will also come up and that one will also come up here shortly. Crossing fingers. I cannot tell you the joy that these plants bring to me every day, because when I get up, I come and check on them. Every day, it's just super fun to see what they're doing and learn and experiment and learn. The thing we got going on is in the basement, we have our sweet corn starts. Now, some people would laugh and say, why are you putting sweet corn in trays and growing them early inside? Because that's not very common. It's kind of silly. But we wanted to do it just to get them started early. I see we got some yellow on these. That could just be sunlight maybe. Well, and we need to get a little more moisture in here. Regardless, I think they're looking really good. They're off to a great start. And that way we can have some earlier than others. And of course, we'll plant more in ground too. And then lastly, these are the ranunculus that I've been growing. And this is my first year doing it. I soaked the corms, did what the books and the videos say to do. They are a little bit dried out right now. I need to fertilize and wet them down. But overall, they've been doing really well. And I've had some friends that know how to grow these give me some tips and hints. So I did need to put more sand in the soil to get them to do what they need to do. But overall, feeling really excited. I hope they end up blooming. And I'm really excited to put some outside and see how they do here once the threat of frost has passed.